A while back, a good friend of mine coined the phrase, "We are metal, we are family." I would like to paraphrase that just a little for today's podcast. We are Audiofeed. We are family. Today on Tofer's Take. So this idea of the church as a family. At Audiofeed didn't get started actually at Audiofeed. It got started at the Sanctuary Conference where Chris Dorman kind of talked about it a little. What does it look like? What was the biblical interpretation of family? Back in Jesus' day, and throughout the week at Audiofeed, you heard several bands, bring this up. This concept of, we as a church, being a family. And if you've gone to someone like this and have experienced that kind of community, at a music festival or at a church camp or at a conference, you get it. You get what family should look like. You get what the church should look like. It's sitting down, and just talking to complete and random strangers like you've known them for years. It's running around, helping people set up, moving the stuff for different bands. It's letting people walk within their gifts and talents. Those who played. Those who set up. And it's one big circle pit or mosh pit, of people bumping into one another and bonding over that. It is family. So what does that mean to me? Why am I doing this podcast on that? Because I feel it's something that a lot of us don't experience, or a lot of us don't have, within the church. We show up Sunday for about an hour and a half, and for some of us, that's the extent of our church life. That's the extent of our fellowship. And I figure about an hour that is the service, itself. So that's maybe 30 minutes. You got fellowshipping with family and, experiencing community. I've said this point before, but, I can't walk up to a lot of people in my church and be like, "Oh man, have you heard the new Impending Doom album?" They'll just look at me crazy. Like I'd look at them crazy if they walked up to me and were like, "Hey, did you hear Miley Cyrus's new song?" Well, you see, all of us are there. We're at this music festival, and we have some common bonds. We're Christians. We are here. We like similar styles of music and similar tastes. Some of us even dress, the same. And this idea of family or community is intertwined all around us. It's somebody buying, 2 tickets and just handing one to the gate, people at the gate, and saying, somebody needs this, give it to them. It is a selfless act of love. That I saw over and over and over again. And what people did, and how they acted and interacted with one another. And I don't know about you, but I don't see that a whole lot in my church. At least not, where, and It could be because, I don't really connect with a lot of people there. Yeah, I'll admit that. But even in our day-to-day lives, as Christians, we don't see that kind of community, for one another. I mean, yeah, we might wave to the guy with the fish on the car. That's about the extent of it. It's not, hey, you need help with that? Let me help you. It's, well, I got to go on about my own life and not worry about that. I think that's what makes things like this so wonderful. And I would love for each and every one of you who is there watching that, at Audiofeed, who is watching this, don't just take home your merch. Don't take home your haul or the CDs you got, or don't just take that home. Do whatever you can. Try your best to take home the idea of community and family and live it out with the people in your local area that you should be having community and family with. It's been a week and I'm still getting, friend requests on Facebook. We should try to do that more and more with the people we are in contact with daily. Anyway, that's it for you guys. Goodbye. God bless, and I'll see you next week.